Welcome into the silence of our sweet home. Deep silence, silence of thought, silence that is beyond thinking and beyond any action. A silence that is the nature of the soul. The soul, the true self, is coming from this space of complete silence, complete stillness. And our home is an awareness where there is no thought about the physical world, no thought about the role, about the part that we are playing right now. There is an awareness that we are eternally quiet. This quietness is nourishing our awareness. There is richness in this quietness. There is wealth and treasures to experience in this deep silence. In the experience of our home, one thought can stay in the mind for a long period of time. We become timeless. We realize that we belong to a reality that is beyond time and space. We realize that there is an unlimited option for our mind. The mind can remain quiet and still, contemplating the purity of our home, the purity of the souls and the perfection, the truth. God is in front of the eye of the intellect in the home. Truth is not far. Truth is who we are in the home, and truth is what we perceive and what we see. Home allows us to reset everything that was acquired in association with the physical world. There is no more awareness of that small, insignificant human experience. Significance comes from the home. The whole significance of the physical world and our journey through the physical world is given by the home and God in the home. God is the center of our home. God is revealing to us the significance of everything. This physical world and our association with it cannot reveal to us any significance. We understand from our relationship with God that we are eternal beings that belong to this eternal divine home, that are supremely silent. Our minds can be completely quiet, observing our qualities and contemplating the perfection and the beauty of God. From this awareness of perfection and completion, the human souls are coming into the awareness of being associated with a body. And we discussed yesterday that when this is at its very beginning that intellect that was contemplating perfection and truth will now look at other souls as being perfect, truthful, and beautiful. And this creates the feeling of heaven on earth. The beginning of our awareness of being associated with bodies, of being able to perceive through the sense organs the physical world, this beginning is very pure. It aligns with the consciousness of the souls that have been in the home and have just switched from the home to this beautiful interaction and observation of the physical world. And it does feel like being the observers of the physical world. As long as the awareness is fresh, is new, souls that have just come from the awareness of the home, they will see perfection around them and perfection in others. This awareness is capable to maintain the vision, and due to the spiritual law, by not being in the home, by not being concentrated and attentive to God, the spiritual law would say that this awareness would slowly descend. The awareness in itself will start to come down from seeing that perfection, seeing that completion, seeing that truth and righteousness constantly. That was a level of the home, that is a level of the very first moments in the physical world. That very first moments are called heaven on earth, paradise. And in the language of the physical world, they correspond to a number of years. Hundreds of years, 1,000 years. From the perspective of the awareness, it is a slow descent. And that descent is manifested in the way we look at others. We can call the first moments, this first age, the age of you. The awareness has preserved the capability to look at others and to see them as being God-like. In the home, the attention of the divine intellect is on God. You are the truth. You are the highest on high. When coming in the association with the physical world, with the bodies, the awareness is paying attention to the other souls. And they see them as being God-like, pure, beautiful, truthful, peaceful, loveful, blissful, knowledgeful. And this age will slowly change from being able to look at others to one moment when the awareness starts to look at himself. And this is a moment of a big fall. It is a fall from paradise or heaven to semi-heaven, semi-paradise, semi-truth. For the beginning of our association with the physical world, this you was what governed and ruled the world of souls. Now it starts to have only one thought about me, about I. Using the word I starts to get the attention of the mind and of the intellect on me. I, this soul playing this part. So from the age of you, it changes into the age of I. When this is happening, the awareness experiences a fall. And not only the awareness changes, but the intellect starts to change. Until now, the intellect of those who are creating heaven through their vision, those who are seeing others as being beautiful and perfect and godlike, such an intellect was an unlimited intellect, broad intellect, huge intellect. To keep in the intellect the image of the truth of the highest on high, the Almighty God, that intellect is unlimited. And then to keep in the intellect the qualities and the beauty and the perfection of all the other souls in heaven, that is a huge intellect. The moment that the awareness falls into I and mine, the intellect starts to shrink. To look only at the qualities of one soul compared to looking at the qualities of all souls is a huge, significant change. The intellect starts to reduce in its size. It starts looking at the qualities and the virtues and the powers of this soul, which may be amazing at that time, but still, it is only one soul. And the more the intellect shrinks, the more the mind becomes discontent with itself, discontent with the experience. It searches in vain that happiness, that peace, that love that was reigning in the age of you. In the age of I, there is still happiness, peace, love, and no sorrow, but they are reducing moment by moment. They are getting smaller and smaller compared to what they used to experience. Until it comes a moment when neither you nor I can be contained in the intellect. The intellect has shrinked so much, then it comes a moment when the souls who have been in the association with the physical world for a longer period of time, their intellect cannot contain any of that. And it only comes up with one word. I don't know. Neti is mentioned in our scriptures and in the philosophical writings. We don't know. We don't know ourselves. We don't know you. We don't know us. We don't know God. And we don't know what. And this is a big fall in that awareness. As we described, as soon as the souls are leaving the home of the highest on high awareness, where they are in the company of the highest on high, Almighty God, there is only one way to go, and that is down. And that down does not mean that we are coming down from the sky on earth and we are coming down physically. No. We have been using this term that the deities are coming from the sky, or God is living in the sky, or we souls come down. We understand it has nothing to do with a physical understanding of the term. Coming down is only relevant in the terms of the awareness. From the moment that the soul is no longer in the awareness of the home, it starts to be in the awareness of the body, there is only descent and more descent. And at the beginning, through the periods that we experience as being heaven and then semi-heaven, the descent is at the beginning slow and then more and more accelerated. When the intellect has shrunk so much that we are no longer able to keep in the intellect the awareness of being the soul, then there is nothing else that can be in the intellect but only what we perceive through the eyes and the sense organs. Until now, the intellect was able to hold that image of the soul, of the true self, of the real I. And it can be as an image of the form of a tiny star of light. That image can change, and it can be in the form of a feeling or of a sense of being incorporeal, subtle, divine, not being of this matter. At the moment that the intellect has shrinked, has become so small, that this sense of being a soul cannot be contained in that intellect anymore. It has become a midget intellect. The intellect has such a small size that it can only look at what it sees through these eyes. And what do we see with the eye all day? It's a body. So the logic would say for such an intellect, I am the body. From that moment on, the darkness of ignorance starts to prevail in the human world. Souls that have been associated for a long period of time with bodies, with the physical world, enter this night of truth, the night of falsehood. There is no longer truth in their awareness. There is only confusion, ignorance, darkness. And they start to feel that they don't know and they cannot know. They don't know who they truly are. They don't know who others are. From being able to see others as God-like beings at the beginning of heaven, now they see others as possible villains. They see others as possible robbers. We don't know who you are. This is a moment when from that home, that souls that are able to remind other souls of this home of God, of our higher awareness, are starting to be associated with the bodies, with the physical world. There are souls that are still in the awareness of you. They are as if bringing with them that beginning, that flavor of perfection, of completion, of you being a God-like being. They are very few, and they are not able to keep that awareness for a long period of time. This is of In this age of I don't know, everyone becomes confused quickly. Those souls that come with a message of the home, with a message of God, they are looked up as being prophetic souls. They are looked up as being messengers of God. They are looked up as being saviors of the world. They are still human souls, and they come in a period where there is already darkness and the night of awareness. They also start to come down in their awareness rather quickly, until comes a time when no one knows, don't want to know. And what prevails in the heart and the minds of human beings is just fear, being afraid of each other, being afraid of God, being afraid of speaking about home, being afraid of knowing about home, forbidding everyone to think about home or think about God. There is a time when they defame God, they defame the home, they defame themselves, and they defame everyone else. This is a peak of darkness. This is the lowest point of the ladder of the consciousness. Awareness has come down to such a point that there is no other place to go. We have reached the bottom of our consciousness. We truly cannot go any lower than that. Every vice, every dependency, every sorrow that could be conceived has been around in this association with the physical world, in what we call the human society. In the human world, every single type of sorrow has been known. That can be good news. We can only go up from here. After a very long period of time, coming only down, that is brilliant news. Finally, there is a way to go up once again. We have only coming down since we have not been in the awareness of the whole. And there was no way to go back into that awareness. All the messengers, all the souls who brought prophetic understanding, who were like fathers of other souls, who were expanding their religions, all these souls were not able to describe home, nor to take anyone back home. Reason says that the only one that can allow us to ascend in our awareness once again and to experience home once again is Almighty God. Reason says that only God, the Supreme Soul, the highest on high, the one who remained in the home forever, is able to make us once again aware of who we truly are. And this is a very significant period, the period when the intellect starts to broaden once again. What a good news for us when we have become those with a minute intellect. Such a small intellect that could not understand and did not want to understand anything. Now our intellect can become larger and larger with every point of spiritual knowledge once again. That is brilliant news. We are becoming smart once again. For human beings to become intelligent is a great attainment, so we all can be very happy. We were foolish, and once again we can regain our intelligence, our sense, our reason. How? There is only one way anyone can develop intellect and capabilities and expertise, and that is going back to school. We are aware of this spiritual knowledge within a school. This school that we are attending is a name. The name is Brahma Kumari's Spiritual University. It is a name. And this name is now offered as a school, as a university to the whole world. Everyone, not a single human soul is excluded. It is possible to study this spiritual knowledge in over 120 countries around the world, in any language. It is a university, and it is a university for the whole universe. And it does advocate that the knowledge is given by God Himself. This does not mean that I am God or any of the teachers are God. This means that God, the Supreme Soul, the highest on high, the Almighty, has come and imparted the spiritual knowledge that will once again make us aware of who we are, where we belong, and how we can return to that sensible home. We have applied that knowledge ourselves, and by seeing the benefits, we are sharing our own understanding of it. This is a description of how awareness has come out of that home and took a leap of faith. It took courage and trust to come out of the home and to take a leap of faith into the experience of being associated with bodies. And I think we did great. We have been through the awareness of being in heaven, in semi-heaven, in an age of not knowing anything, and in an age of complete darkness and hate and guilt. Now it is about the time to go up in our awareness once again. And we do that only through spiritual knowledge. That is all for today, but join us tomorrow to find about the most amazing age of the humankind, and still a very incognito age. The only age when we can go up once again. Let us end with a few moments of being again in the experience of the home. We are in the experience of the home by being completely detached from the awareness of the body and of the road. We are as if we are far, far from the physical world. And we take a leap of faith. The awareness takes a jump into another reality, into the awareness of our home. In the home, the soul is in the presence of God. In silence, the soul is connected with God. And it regains all its power. Thank you once again for taking this journey with us. Join us tomorrow to find out about the most amazing age of humankind. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.